Namaskar. Welcome to the Small Talk by Unekha. My name is Sonali and I'm a Kathak dancer. I'm from Bangalore, currently in US. We'll just wait for a few more minutes before I can invite my guest for today, Madhumanti. I'm just waiting for everyone to join today's session, and our artist for today is Madhumanti, who is an excellent Bharatnatyam dancer, a very beautiful Bharatnatyam dancer who's from Bangalore, and at the same time she is also a nutritionist and a wellness certified instructor. She started Dhimahi in Bangalore, which is for nourishing the artists, and I would like to invite her to our live talk today, and so that she could share a little more in depth about her journey with Indian classical arts, with her other singing aspects of what she has chosen. I would like to welcome Madhumanti to our conversation today. And thank you everyone for joining in, for tuning in today. Namaskar, Madhumanti.
Hello. Namaskar. Namaskar.
And
thank you so much for inviting me today.
Yes, it's a pleasure to meet you virtually, which has become a reality now.
Not that bad after all, you know. Things getting virtual. We're still getting to connect.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, on that note, how has the virtual world been for you in the last 1 year in terms of your practice?
In terms of my practice, I think my practice has really grown in this period of, all these lockdown. And I know it's a very bad time for the world, and a lot of people lost their lives and all of that. At the same time, the good side of that, for me at least during this lockdown, has been I had more time to analyze things, retrospect, work on the things that I couldn't work on, before, because everything is just so busy and we're traveling and there is no time, So in this lockdown, I really had time to delve deeper into my practice and understand a lot of things about myself, and what dance or music really meant to me.
Yes.
On a very personal level. I think that was very, very special.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, I think that for all artists that we've actually been able to introspect and also focus a little more on our own practice rather than, focusing on performances, which is good. So, I would really like you to share your journey this far, or how did you get into Indian arts, and how has it been this far? I would like to know more as well.
Right. So for me, I was initiated into dance when I was like 5 years old. It's quite small, and I come from a very small township in West Bengal, actually West Bengal Jharkhand border. I didn't have a lot of exposure to, teachers like we have now.
Yes,
it was very different. So I would wait for a teacher to come all the way from Kolkata, and then I would be like looking forward to the class. But then after some time, I couldn't continue because the teacher couldn't come again. So I was very small, so I couldn't really, travel. But my parents were very determined that, okay, we have to take her and do something.
Absolutely.
So then I decided to go to another district to learn. I remember getting up at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and there it's very cold, the winters are really brutal. So my mom would wake me up. I would board the train and reach 6 o'clock in the morning, go all the way in a bus to the class and shower and then get ready and come back the same day because I had school the next morning.
Yes.
So all that we have done for like 3 to 4 years, that was very, very tiring, but I'm glad I did that,
Absolutely,
I'm glad
yes.
I did that.
I'm glad you did it so we can all, see some beautiful Natyam too. And how did you, what keeps you, keep going into what you're doing right now? I know classical arts is pretty hard, to keep the practice. And I know you've been practicing for the last year. So what keeps you going? What keeps Madhumanti ji inspired to, keep the practice going, stick to classical art? What is that keeps you going?
I had fallen in love with Bharatanatyam like a long, long time ago, and there was no coming back. And there is like no word like compromise or anything like that. There's no such word. I'm sure you will connect because you're a dancer yourself. So there is
Yes,
no, choice that we even want to think about. We so
absolutely.
know that this is for us, and there is a sense of fulfilling. I don't know how to say the sense of fulfillment that comes from practice or
Practice.
dance. Like it doesn't even have to be on stage. It can just be a
Yes,
practice. Just
absolutely.
you and your practice. That's it.
Absolutely.
So I think it's I can connect to dance in a very different way, like in a very spiritual level. I'm not a very temple going kind of a person, like doing puja sort of a person, but the only time when I can connect to that higher energy, whatever that is
Yes.
through my practice. So I think
Yeah.
it's very, very special to me.
Yes. I mean, I think that's the connection we all are trying to look for through our practice too.
That's like
at
from like on a very intrinsic level, but then on the outside, my teacher actually keeps me very motivated. My
yeah,
my teacher, Smt Indira Kadambi, she keeps me very, very motivated all the time. Sometimes I am not like able to do the way I want to do, and there are always like ups and downs in a artist life. Sometimes
absolutely.
I'm happy with my practice. Sometimes I am not, and sometimes I don't know what's going wrong with me, and it's just so heartbreaking for any reason. But then, yeah, you need that teacher, who will tell you it's
That constant,
okay, it's fine,
yeah,
just keep going, like that. Just pick me
yeah.
up, never
That's
need
it.
it. So
I
that's how I
think,
kind of continue.
yeah, and I think that's the importance of having a motivating teacher too or a guru.
As
And
well.
I totally understand because even my teachers are very motivating. And each time we fall in our practice and we're like, okay, this is not meant for us. Kathak is not meant for us. And then we have our teachers, pulling us back and saying, no, you have come
Right.
this, you can do it a little more. So I totally understand. So, like I know you're speaking about your gurus as well. So how has the bond been, and what is that one thing that you really remember about your gurus each time you practice? You're like, okay, this is what they said, and this is why I want to keep going. I know there are multiple things they keep talking to us about which motivate us, but I'm sure there is something that you're like, okay, this is something so special about the bond with our teachers.
I think it's hard to pick, one thing. It's my teacher, like my current teacher I'm talking about. She's an amazing, amazing person, and the way she keeps me grounded all the time and she keeps me on my path all the time is incredible.
Absolutely.
Not just in the dance class, but also in my life in general. Like she
Yeah.
has her impact in my life even outside of my dance class. So how I think or how I deal with a situation or just about anything when I'm having a difficulty, she
Yeah.
kind of like tells me, this is how you can try to tackle the situation.
Absolutely.
So
I know. I think
I think
gurus teach us more than just dance. They teach us about life, and that's. I think
absolutely
that's why it's
yes,
a special
yes,
bond. We connect with our teachers.
true.
So how? I mean, I know for the last 1 year we've always all been in lockdown, and no performances. Have you been able to create? Have you been able to let out that creativity? Have you been able to create any new projects? Work on anything new? I would like to know a little
Actually,
more.
I have been able to work on myself, like on a very physical and a spiritual level as well. I've been able to delve deeper into my practice, understand what I need to do, what is important to me now, and what maybe is important to me in the future. So, kind of the roadmap to what I want to do which wasn't that clear earlier. Like I knew though that I wanted to do this, but that
Yeah.
roadmap sort of a thing was not that clear.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I think there has been some clarity in this 1 year of retrospection and understanding. I have been actually able to work on a new project.
Okay.
It's a very new project that I'm working on. It's about Celestial River.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
I'm working on it. I do hope that I can bring present to you all the work that I've been working on. It still needs a lot of time to, be presented, but I look forward to do
I-
that.
Is it a solo production? Is it a
Yes, it
solo?
is a solo production. Yes.
Okay.
And that's why it's so intense, like the thought process, and sometimes in the creative process my mind just blacks out and I cannot think further, and then I have to like just stop and then I have to
Absolutely.
talk to my teacher, and then she will give me some ideas. Or
Absolutely.
yeah, it's a long process, but it's a beautiful process, self exploration as well, along the way. It's
I know.
beautiful.
I know. I think solo productions are really beautiful too because you kind of connect with yourself on a deeper level, and
It's
it's
like
very
your baby, you create it,
yeah,
it's your thought. It's everything that you
absolutely,
thought. It's very special.
absolutely. Absolutely. And I know you started Dhimahi, which is your center for nourishing the artist. When did you begin this, and what was your objective, or what was your intention behind starting this wonderful center?
So I started it in 2017, actually. Before that, I didn't know the name. I
Okay.
didn't come across, this name before. I started in 2017 in March, actually. And the idea was to, you know, share the art form with people who want to learn. It's very
Absolutely.
like understanding was just to share what I know or what I have been learning to the younger generation, connecting with them, and also kind of showing them that Indian classical dance is beautiful and it's absolutely not boring.
Yeah. It's very gratifying to teach younger generation too, because when they start
Yeah,
showing it in Indian classical arts, it's a lot of fun.
yeah.
And so does your center focus only on the dancing aspect, or I know you are a lot into fitness and yoga, etc. So
Yeah.
how do you incorporate that with your dancers, and
Yes,
what do you
definitely
think
I
is
do.
important?
Definitely I do. Yoga is a very yoga and fitness actually. It's a very integral part. Every dancer needs to have a routine. It's very important because dance demands it.
Yeah,
Dance itself is not an exercise. So it's very important to have this routine. It can be anything that you do, your choice, but
yeah,
something should be there. So also like in dance, if we don't have the awareness of how to engage every muscle and how to, avoid injuries in dance, we need to
yeah,
understand how the body works. So that's a very fundamental concept that I think everyone should know, if not in a very deep level, at
yeah,
least in a very superficial level, they need to know, because they need to understand what is good for their body and what is not.
yeah. Yeah, I think a lot
So,
of times dancers, or even any. Sorry, yeah,
no,
you're
no,
saying.
no, you were telling.
I think that's why it's very important to let everyone know, even if they're just initially into their practice, that some sort of fitness routine is important. Otherwise,
Definitely.
classical dance alone can cause injuries too, because you are going into so many
Yeah,
other uh,
yeah.
poses and all that. Yeah.
And we are
So
constantly giving so much pressure onto our knees. And it's
absolutely,
very important to understand how to minimize that, that damage
yeah,
for the longevity of your, bones and in general, like your joints. It's very
yeah,
important to understand that. So my classes focus on these understanding, these anatomical understandings, and on top of that, we build fitness or yoga so that a person is aware. In their dance, also they're able to, perform better. if they have a
Correct.
better understanding of their body, they're trained in a way that their arms don't become sore so often, or their legs don't become sore so often. So they train how they need to be able to dance, best.
Absolutely, and I think that's something everyone should pay attention to, and including us, to dance injury free, so we can actually dance till we
Yes.
can.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I know you teach the younger generation as well as somebody from a generation previously. So, what has been your fondest memory of maybe teaching the current generation? What has been your something that inspired you, and you're like, yeah, that's why I want to continue teaching this generation Indian classical art. Is there something?
So the bunch of kids that I teach have been with me for like past 4 years, like that. And every class, when I see them, they work on the homework. They're so enthusiastic. Every day they're so happy. They're in dance class, and they're just happy. They look forward to the dance class. They do their homework, and they dance well. I think that's very beautiful for me to see that
Yeah,
they are interested. They're doing this because they love it. I'm
they love.
able to instigate that love in them. That is where I feel maybe this is worth it. It is.
Absolutely, I know what you feel when you look at them and they practice, and then they're like, okay, we
Yeah.
really like what the Indian arts is. So it's very satisfying.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of young, at least from my experience, or what I've been seeing a lot on social media, there are a lot of youngsters who are venturing out into teaching Indian classical art. Now, especially in the last 1 year, I have seen an outburst of teachers, yeah, of Indian classical arts, which is good. Which is everyone is trying their best to promote Indian arts. But what would your advice be to someone who is just starting out to teach? Because I know teaching is a huge responsibility, especially when it comes to Indian art. So,
Yes.
what would tell our younger generation, or the young teachers rather, as they start to teach out these Indian classical arts? What would you?
I think the first thing that comes to my mind is even for me, even I'm a young teacher, I'm not old. So the thing
Absolutely.
that is the thing that I always keep in my mind is it's a responsibility, and I need to do my best, and I need to make sure that my practice is strong and my training is strong, because unless that is strong, I will not be able to uh, do 100% best with the students that I am teaching. So it's very important to have good training, making sure that you're very, very honest with your practice. And yeah, what you're sharing is coming from your heart, not just for the money,
Mm,
because you genuinely want to share. Money is important, but at the same time, the honesty is very important. So be honest
absolutely.
with your learning and with your students, have a connection with them. I think it's very important. Connection is important.
Absolutely. Started Dhimahi, this center in Bangalore, correct?
Yeah, actually, right now everything is online. Before
On.
I was having on-ground classes. Right now everything is shifted to online, and it's going pretty well. The kids are
Mhm.
still motivated, they're still learning, and they're still progressing. So we haven't started the on-ground yet. It's still online.
Okay. How has your experience been teaching online? Are you okay with seeing everyone on tiny Zoom screens? Have you adjusted to that now?
That's a very good question. The when this started, this whole lockdown, I actually freaked out thinking, oh my God, the kids, how will I teach them on Zoom? If it's a adult or somebody, then it's okay because they already have the idea what I'm talking about. But a kid, how am I gonna really teach them? I freaked out
Yeah.
until I actually started because we didn't have a choice. We did not have a choice. As much
Abs-
as we love on ground classes, we did not have a choice. For 1 year without teaching, it's hard, right? It's hard for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
So I decided to take, give it a shot. And it was challenging because some of the kids are like, switching the camera off and like going to washroom or something. I'm like, where are you? things like that happen, but then slowly, over time, they understand, it's like an on-ground class. You cannot just go to the restroom or something like that. It takes time, but it's definitely not easy, but it is doable so far.
Yeah. I think for
It's
me,
hard,
with
but yeah.
it's hard, I agree. But I think with me, classes, the left side of mine has become even more stronger. So now I'm, my left and right because I'm all the time mirroring the kids and adults. So now my left
Right.
also become even more stronger, which is good. So I find it, more beneficial for myself too. So
Yeah, that's one thing.
I've got used to mirroring, and yeah, I think it's good. I mean, we can't complain too much because somehow we are teaching and keep it going for everyone. And arts, as you know, is so important to nourish our bodies, our soul, our well-being. We need arts, right? Whether it's music or dance. And I know you're training, or are you a trained classical singer? Are you
Um,
undergoing training?
yes, I am undergoing training in both dance and music. So it's a
Nice.
constant learning. So I'm still
Nice.
learning.
So, share a little bit about your singing journey. How has it been so far? And, how long have you been, trying to get into this? And how has the journey been with singing? And how has it helped your dancing? That's the connection.
So my mother is a singer actually, and
Oh,
she
wonderful.
sings Robindra Sangeet, the songs
Wonderful.
by Rabindranath Thakur. So I'm a Bengali, so I grew up listening to all the music, and I would like imitate my mother. And preliminary stage learning happened from her only, just listening
Absolutely.
to her all the time. And then I somehow got very attracted to Carnatic music, and I did not have teachers actually
Okay.
because I was growing up in a very very, it's like a township, you can say.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling you about the Jharkhand and West Bengal border. There was no teacher, but I would listen to a lot of music, even when I was like small. So listening to music, I would just try to like imitate, and somehow like the Carnatic that gamaka
Yeah.
somehow I was able to do. It's very weird for a Bengali girl to be able to do that, and I myself did know it was something to be surprised about. But when I actually came to Chennai and I wanted to enroll myself to Carnatic music class, um, my first teacher who I went to learn with was Chitravina Shri and Ravi Kiran.
Okay.
So
Wonderful.
he told me that you're able to do all these things. Have you learned before? I said I actually haven't.
Mm.
So that was weird. Like, I'm not supposed to be able to sing Carnatic music. It's very different than Hindustani.
Yes,
Hindustani still makes sense. So
absolutely.
then I enrolled myself and I started learning. Then I moved to Bangalore. Then I'm currently learning with in Ambalam only. My teacher is Sri TV Ramprasadh.
Okay.
So my dance acharya's husband is my music acharya.
Oh, lovely,
So it's
lovely.
basically the same place where I go and I learn both.
How do you keep up with how, I mean, we will definitely come back to you presenting or singing a little bit for us. I would love to hear something. I'm a big fan of music, classical music, and I'm trying to learn Hindustani music. It's just been a
Wow.
year. I'm trying. It's hard. It's another chapter like dance. It's
Yeah,
an
it's
ongoing.
not like you have to be able to sing like 100% accurate, but then how much ever you need to learn to understand the compositions that you're dancing on or to be able to teach them to your students, that's good
Yeah.
enough, I think,
Exactly. How have
if
you
you're a
connected?
dancer.
Yeah, have you been able to connect more to dance after you started learning singing? Was there more relationship between your singing and dancing? Were you able to relate more?
Definitely. Like, absolutely. I am able to connect better. I can sing for myself and dance. I don't have to depend on somebody to sing it for me.
Wonderful. That's amazing. Yeah.
So that is a little bit of help. especially during all these pandemic where you can't go out and things like that. Now it's a little better. We are able to go out a little bit, but like in that kind of a period, I really made some use of my singing skills
Nice. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
to
And
practice on my own.
practice. Okay. What's a typical day in your life? I mean, of an artist. I'm actually very curious all the time that how do artists, especially I know you've taken it up as a full-time profession, or you've turned your passion into profession, right? So I'm always very curious because there are days when I don't practice or the days, but I'm constantly thinking about art. And I'm always very interested to know how do the other artists spend their day and what's a typical day in your life.
Before I tell you that, I'll tell you that it's the same kind of. It's not like I get to practice every single day.
Yeah.
I wish I could, but I always think about it. Think about something related to dance or something related to music or something. I just keep watching, or there is something happening all the time. But I am with you in this. It's a struggle, to keep up with that, with so many
Yes.
things going on. But my day actually starts at 7 o'clock in the morning. I teach yoga in the morning,
Oh, wonderful.
and
Online?
7:30. Yes, online for now.
Okay.
Yes. So I finish my classes, then I go to the gym with my husband, and then I come back, get a little bit rest, have my lunch, shower, and then I practice my Ashtanga yoga at 3 o'clock.
Nice.
Then 3 to 4 I practice. Then I teach PT, like personal training classes from 4 to 5, and again 5 to 6. Then again 6:30 to 7:30 I have evening yoga class, and yeah, 8 to 9 I teach another class. And then the time that I have left is my study time or my practice time, or but then I go to my class twice a week. That those 2 days are like good practice days. Rest of the days I try to practice abhinaya and work on my other things that I got as a homework from the previous class.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I think Abhinaya is always the most interesting aspect of dance, at least for
Very
me.
deep, and it's very intense.
Makes sense. And I think you can, I mean, I really enjoy practicing Abhinaya, even though, like for me, each time it's a challenge, but I try to do it. And it's a lot of, it's very interesting, I would say. And
Very deep, very exhausting in itself.
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I know that you ventured out into singing and you're practicing. Is there some favorite composition of yours that you would like to, sing a little bit for our audience today? And personally for me, I would love to
Um,
hear something, any of your favorite uh,
any of your
pieces.
favorite songs?
Anything. Yeah, sure. Anything that's your favorite and you're like, okay, this is something very close to my heart and I would like to share it with
I have a
everyone.
very favorite song. It's in Sindhu Bhairavi. I'll try to sing a few lines for you.
Really.
Mm. भज भज मानस हरि मन वरदम भज भज मानस हरि मन वरदम भज भज मानस हरि मन वरदम भक्तपरायणम् अतिशुभचरितम् भक्तपरायणम् अतिशुभचरितम् भज भज मानस हरिमनवरदम् भज भज मानस हरिमनवरदम् शुकसनकादि मुनीश्वर विनुतं सुखसनकादि मुनीश्वर विनुतं जगति समस्त चराचर विततं भज भज मानस हरिमनवरदं भज भज मानस हरिमनवरदं हरिमनवरदं हरिमनवरदम्
That was very beautiful. Thank you so much, Madhumanti. It was really beautiful, and I know that came from your heart. And it's close
It's
to
a very
you.
favorite song. It's a very beautiful small composition. Very close to my
Absolutely.
heart.
Yes, and I hope you keep dancing, and I hope you keep singing. I think there is someone who joined in and said that I wish you post more of your dance videos.
Oh, I will.
Yeah, and
I
I think
will.
yeah, and I would like to just welcome the audience to ask any questions if they wish to.
Robindra Shongit. Somebody
I
is
know you.
asking me to sing.
Yes, and you just did. But I think it's been a very beautiful conversation with you. I like to do these small talks because I get to connect with artists who are as talented as you and who are so motivating. So
Thank you
every
so much. It was a beautiful, time connecting with you, talking to you.
Yes, and I think artists need to keep this. I think we need to drive this world to more being more peaceful, more spreading more
Right.
happiness through our art. And I hope I get to see you perform live, whether it's singing or dancing. Do
Definitely.
you
I
have,
look forward to.
yes, do you have any upcoming events or any sort of workshops that you can let the audience know? If you have,
Workshops, yes. I'm having the yoga anatomy workshop now for yoga practitioners and dancers. They can join it. It's a weekend batch starting from the 25th of March.
oh, okay, wonderful. Okay,
So
and
a
are the
weekend
details,
batch. So, huh?
where can someone find the details for it? Is it on your website?
In my page actually.
Okay. It's
So
a,
in my Instagram handle, if you just go, there will be posters that I've shared, and just DM me for more details. I'll share the details. It's specially done for dancers and
okay.
people whoever wants to move injury free for them.
Absolutely. And I thank you so much for doing that because I think that's so important now because we get so involved in our practice that we do not really focus on, working on other parts of our muscles, etc. And we just directly go into our practice. So that's why we need teachers like you to conduct these workshops so at least we can understand the importance of a good workout. So thank you so much. I would also like to thank Unekha for connecting artists during
Thank you
tough
so
times.
much.
But I will stay in touch with you, and I really wish you good luck in your
Thank you so
artistic
much.
journey. And I hope I get to see you perform live. Thank you so much.
Definitely. And same here. I'd like to see you perform as well.
Yes, absolutely. We will stay in touch. Thank you so much. It was wonderful.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you
Thank you.
so much. It was lovely
Thank you.
connecting with you.
Thank you. Thanks to everyone who joined in today.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.